Dr. Alan Becker rubbed his tired eyes and took another sip of cold coffee. The night shift at NASA's Deep Space Monitoring Station was usually quiet. Tonight was his third straight 12-hour shift, and he was looking forward to going home. He glanced at his screen one more time before logging out. Something caught his eye. A dark spot where there shouldn't be one, just beyond Neptune's orbit. He adjusted the telescope settings and zoomed in. The spot was still there. "Hey, can you come look at this?" he called to his colleague. Diane Clark walked over, her face showing mild annoyance at being interrupted. "What am I looking at, Alan?" "I'm not sure. It's not showing up as any known object. Too big for an asteroid, wrong orbit for a comet." Diane leaned closer to the screen. Her expression changed from annoyed to concerned. "Run a full spectrum analysis," she ordered. The results made no sense. The object absorbed all light and energy scans. It was as if a piece of space had been cut out and replaced with nothing. "I'm calling this in," Diane said, reaching for the secure phone. Within an hour, the station was filled with government officials and military personnel. By morning, every major observatory on Earth was focused on the mysterious object. It was huge, at least a mile long and shaped like a perfect oval. Its surface was the deepest black anyone had ever seen. It didn't reflect light. It seemed to swallow it. And it was definitely not natural. "It's a ship," Sam Harris told the emergency UN meeting. As the head of the newly formed First Contact Response Team, the former Navy commander spoke with calm authority. "And it stopped moving. It's just sitting at the edge of our solar system." World leaders looked at the images with a mixture of fear and wonder. "Have they made contact?" the Secretary General asked. "No, ma'am. We've sent signals on all frequencies. No response so far." For 3 days, the black ship sat motionless. Every attempt at communication failed. The world held its breath. Some people panicked. Others celebrated. Religious leaders called for prayer. Scientists worked around the clock, and military forces went on high alert. Dr. Becker barely slept. He stayed at his station, watching the ship and helping send new signals. On the morning of the 4th day, as he was about to take a short break, all the screens in the command center flickered. A soft hum filled the room. "We have been watching. We come in peace." The words appeared on every screen and were broadcast on every radio channel simultaneously. The voice was calm and clear, with no accent. Perfect English. "This is Commander Sam Harris of Earth. We welcome peaceful contact. Who are you, and what is your purpose here?" There was a pause before the reply came. "We are travelers from far beyond your stars. We have observed your world for many of your centuries. The time has come for us to meet." "Why now?" Harris asked. "Why reveal yourselves after all this time?" Another pause. "Because you are needed. The stars grow dark with a threat you cannot yet see. We bring warning and opportunity." The room fell silent. Dr. Becker felt a chill run down his spine. "We request a meeting. We will send a small vessel to your moon in 3 of your days. You may bring 5 representatives. No weapons." The transmission ended as suddenly as it had begun. The next 3 days were a blur of preparation and debate. Who would go? What would they say? Could they trust these visitors? In the end, the team was chosen. Commander Harris, Dr. Becker, 2 diplomats, and a linguist. As their shuttle approached the lunar landing site, Becker stared out the window at the small black craft already waiting on the gray surface. It was happening. Humanity was about to meet its first aliens, and nothing would ever be the same again. The lunar surface was quiet except for the soft hum of the air systems in their suits. Dr. Becker's heart pounded as he stood beside Commander Harris. The small black shuttle sat 50 yards away, its surface just as strange and light-absorbing as the mothership. "Stay calm," Harris reminded the team. "Remember your training." A seam appeared in the side of the alien craft. It widened without a sound. 3 tall figures stepped onto the moon's dusty surface. Becker felt his mouth go dry. The aliens were at least 7 feet tall with gray skin that seemed to shimmer slightly. Each had 4 long arms and moved with strange grace despite the low gravity. Their faces were almost human-like, with 2 large eyes that changed colors like oil on water. The beings walked slowly toward the human group. They wore no spacesuits, only simple dark robes that flowed around their bodies. Harris stepped forward. "Welcome to Luna, Earth's moon. We come in peace and friendship." The middle alien raised its upper right hand. When it spoke, the words came through the human's helmet speakers. "We are the Carthan. I am called Observer in your language. We thank you for meeting us." The voice was calm and clear, with no emotion Becker could detect. "We have watched your species for many cycles," Observer continued. "You are unique in the galaxy." Diane Clark, one of the diplomats, asked, "Unique in what way?" "Most intelligent species evolve through cooperation and harmony. Humans evolve through competition and innovation. This makes you different. Valuable." Becker found his voice. "Are there many other intelligent species out there?" The Galactic Concord includes 28 spacefaring civilizations. Many others exist who have not yet reached the stars. The humans exchanged glances. 28 civilizations. The implications were enormous. "Why have you revealed yourselves now?" Harris asked. "Why not earlier or later?" Observer's eyes shifted to a deep blue color. "A darkness approaches. The Void Collective expands through the galaxy, consuming all in its path. The Concord needs allies who understand conflict. You want us to fight for you," Harris said. "It wasn't a question. We offer an exchange. Your military expertise for our technology. A fair trade." The second alien stepped forward, carrying a small box. It opened it to reveal what looked like a glass cube filled with swirling lights. "This contains basic knowledge of fold space travel, energy production, and medicine beyond your current understanding. A token of our sincerity." Harris looked at the cube but made no move to take it. "This is a decision our entire planet must make, not just our team." "We understand," Observer said. "But time is limited. The void approaches faster than you realize." "What are they?" Becker asked. "This Void Collective." Observer's eyes turned a dark purple. "They were once like us. Now they are something else. They believe all life should be converted to their form. Those who refuse are eliminated." The third alien, who had remained silent, finally spoke. "We wish to invite 2 of you to visit the Concord Central World, to see what awaits humanity among the stars." Harris looked surprised. "When?" "Now," Observer said. "Our ship can return you within your Earth week. Your world needs to understand what exists beyond your solar system before making its choice." Harris turned to Becker. "Looks like we've been volunteered for a field trip, Doctor." Becker stared at the aliens, then at the stars above. In all his years studying space, he never imagined he would travel beyond the solar system. "I'll go," he said. Observer nodded. "The Carthan are few now. Once we were many. The void reduced our numbers. But humans have potential we have not seen in millennia." The alien extended one of its 4 hands toward the black shuttle. "Come. The galaxy awaits, and it will never be the same once humanity joins it." As Becker and Harris followed the aliens toward their craft, Becker wondered what Earth would be like when they returned. If they returned. Either way, everything had changed forever. The lunar surface was quiet except for the soft hum of the air systems in their suits. Dr. Becker's heart pounded as he stood beside Commander Harris. The small black shuttle sat 50 yards away, its surface just as strange and light-absorbing as the mothership. "Stay calm," Harris reminded the team. "Remember your training." A seam appeared in the side of the alien craft. It widened without a sound. 3 tall figures stepped onto the moon's dusty surface. Becker felt his mouth go dry. The aliens were at least 7 feet tall with gray skin that seemed to shimmer slightly. Each had 4 long arms and moved with strange grace despite the low gravity. Their faces were almost human-like, with two large eyes that changed colors like oil on water. The beings walked slowly toward the human group. They wore no spacesuits, only simple dark robes that flowed around their bodies. Harris stepped forward. "Welcome to Luna, Earth's moon. We come in peace and friendship." The middle alien raised its upper right hand. When it spoke, the words came through the human's helmet speakers. "We are the Carthan. I am called Observer in your language. We thank you for meeting us." The voice was calm and clear, with no emotion Becker could detect. "We have watched your species for many cycles," Observer continued. "You are unique in the galaxy." Diane Clark, one of the diplomats, asked, "Unique in what way?" "Most intelligent species evolve through cooperation and harmony. Humans evolve through competition and innovation. This makes you different. Valuable." Becker found his voice. "Are there many other intelligent species out there?" The Galactic Concord includes 28 spacefaring civilizations. Many others exist who have not yet reached the stars. The humans exchanged glances. 28 civilizations. The implications were enormous. "Why have you revealed yourselves now?" Harris asked. "Why not earlier or later?" Observer's eyes shifted to a deep blue color. "The darkness approaches. The Void Collective expands through the galaxy, consuming all in its path. The Concord needs allies who understand conflict." "You want us to fight for you," Harris said. It wasn't a question. "We offer an exchange. Your military expertise for our technology. A fair trade." The second alien stepped forward, carrying a small box. It opened it to reveal what looked like a glass cube filled with swirling lights. "This contains basic knowledge of fold space travel, energy production, and medicine beyond your current understanding. A token of our sincerity." Harris looked at the cube but made no move to take it. "This is a decision our entire planet must make, not just our team." "We understand," Observer said. "But time is limited. The void approaches faster than you realize." "What are they?" Becker asked. "This Void Collective." Observer's eyes turned a dark purple. "They were once like us. Now they are something else. They believe all life should be converted to their form. Those who refuse are eliminated." The third alien, who had remained silent, finally spoke. "We wish to invite two of you to visit the Concord Central World, to see what awaits humanity among the stars." Harris looked surprised. "When?" "Now," Observer said. "Our ship can return you within your Earth week. Your world needs to understand what exists beyond your solar system before making its choice." Harris turned to Becker. "Looks like we've been volunteered for a field trip, Doctor." Becker stared at the aliens, then at the stars above. In all his years studying space, he never imagined he would travel beyond the solar system. "I'll go," he said. Observer nodded. "The Carthan are few now. Once we were many. The void reduced our numbers. But humans have potential we have not seen in millennia." The alien extended one of its four hands toward the black shuttle. "Come, the galaxy awaits, and it will never be the same once humanity joins it." As Becker and Harris followed the aliens toward their craft, Becker wondered what Earth would be like when they returned. If they returned. Either way, everything had changed forever. Back on Earth, chaos and excitement filled the air. News of the alien contact had leaked despite government efforts to control the information. Some people celebrated in the streets. Others hid in bunkers. Religious groups claimed the aliens were angels or demons. Scientists begged for more data. In the White House Situation Room, the remaining members of the first contact team played the message from Harris and Becker for the third time. "The threat is real," Harris's voice said through the static. "We've seen evidence of entire worlds destroyed. The Concord is offering technology and protection in exchange for our help." Diane Clark looked at the military and civilian leaders around the table. "Commander Harris and Dr. Becker believe we should accept their offer, but they also warn that the aliens seem particularly interested in finding a human to operate some kind of weapon. A weapon that could save the galaxy or be turned against us," General Frank Ward said. This could be the greatest trick in history. President Patricia Bell had listened quietly until now. The question is simple. Do we trust them? No one spoke for a long moment. Then a new voice broke the silence. I'd like to volunteer. All heads turned to the young woman who had just entered the room. Lieutenant Kate Miller, Navy pilot, and the newest member of the first contact team. Lieutenant, this isn't the time, General Ward began. With respect, sir, it is, Kate said. I've reviewed all the data from the black ship. Its energy signature matches my brainwave patterns at 98.7% synchronization. That can't be a coincidence. Diane Clark looked startled. How do you know that? Because I've been dreaming about it since it arrived, Kate said. I can see inside it. I know how it works. The room fell silent again. President Bell studied Kate's face carefully. You're suggesting the ship chose you specifically? Yes, Mom. And I think we need to find out why. 2 days later, a new diplomatic team prepared to meet the Carthan. This time, Ambassador Laura Myers would lead, with Lieutenant Miller, General Ward, and 2 scientists as support. Their orders were clear. Negotiate terms for joining the Concorde, but commit to nothing until they understood exactly what the aliens wanted from Kate. The meeting took place on the lunar colony. Observer and 2 other Carthan arrived in their small black shuttle. We welcome Earth's continued interest, Observer said. Have you reached a decision? Ambassador Myers stepped forward. Earth is prepared to join your alliance against the Void, but we have conditions. Observer's eyes shifted to a deep green. That is acceptable. What are your terms? First, we want technological exchanges to begin immediately, particularly defensive systems. Agreed. Second, we want full information about all member species and Concorde laws before finalizing membership. Also agreed. Third, Myers said, nodding toward Kate, we want to know exactly why you're interested in Lieutenant Miller. Observer turned all 4 of its eyes toward Kate. You have felt the connection. Kate nodded. The ship speaks to me. In dreams. Not dreams. Real communication. Observer moved closer to Kate. The vessel you call the Black Ship is alive. It is the last of its kind, as we Carthan are nearly the last of ours. It has chosen you. Why me? Kate asked. Your neural patterns match its control systems. This is not by chance. Long ago, when we first detected the Void, we searched for species that might help us fight. We found primitive humans. General Ward's eyes narrowed. Are you saying you did something to us? To our evolution? Not directly. Observer said. We studied your potential. We protected your world from cosmic threats. We waited. For what? Myers asked. For humans to develop both the technology to fight and the compassion to know when not to. Observer looked directly at Kate. The ship needs a pilot with human creativity and adaptability. It offers a bond that will change you both forever. Kate took a deep breath. And if I agree? Then we stand a chance against the Void, Observer said. If you refuse, we will respect your choice. But the Void will eventually reach Earth, with or without our help. Kate looked at her team, then back at Observer. I want to see this ship, to speak with it directly. Observer's eyes turned a bright silver color. It is already waiting for you. The journey to the edge of the solar system took 3 days in Earth's fastest spacecraft. Kate spent most of the time staring out the window, wondering what waited for her. The dreams had become stronger. Images of stars, strange worlds, and a presence that felt ancient yet somehow familiar. Are you sure about this? Ambassador Myers asked as they approached the Black Ship. No, Kate admitted, but I need to know why it chose me. The massive black vessel grew larger in the viewports. Up close, its surface seemed to move like oil on water, yet it was solid when their small craft docked against it. Observer led Kate, Myers, and General Ward through an opening that appeared in the side of the ship. Inside, the corridors were dark, lit only by faint blue lines along the floor. The ship has been waiting a long time, Observer said. It is, eager. They reached a large circular chamber at the center of the vessel. In the middle stood a chair-like structure surrounded by floating screens of light. The neural interface, Observer explained. Through this, you can communicate directly with the ship. Kate approached slowly. Will it hurt? No, but it will change you. The connection is permanent. General Ward stepped forward. Wait, permanent. That wasn't part of the agreement. It is necessary, Observer said. The weapon requires constant neural connection to function. What weapon? Myers demanded. You've avoided explaining that part. Observer's eyes changed to a deep red. The ship itself is the weapon. It can disrupt the quantum field that connects the void collective consciousness. But the calculations required are beyond Egonar technology. We need human intuition to guide it. Kate touched the chair. It felt warm, almost alive. What happened to the last pilot? She asked quietly. Observer was silent for a moment. There was none. The ship was built for humans. Specifically, for you. That's impossible, Ward said. You couldn't have known about Lieutenant Miller before you came to Earth. Not her specifically, Observer corrected. But we knew a human with the right neural pattern would eventually be born. We have waited and watched for generations. Kate looked at the alien with new understanding. How old are you, Observer? I have lived for 900 of your years. I am young among my kind. The room fell silent. Kate turned to Myers and Ward. I need to do this, she said. If I don't, we might lose our only chance against the void. Ward frowned. This is above your pay grade, Lieutenant. With respect, sir, I don't think this is about military rank anymore. She looked back at the chair. The ship chose me. I need to find out why. Myers sighed. We can't force you either way, Kate. But are you sure? Kate nodded and sat in the chair before she could change her mind. Immediately, the floating screens moved closer. The chair reshaped itself around her body. What do I do? She asked Observer. Open your mind to it. The rest will happen naturally. Kate closed her eyes. At first, nothing happened. Then she felt it, a presence touching her thoughts. Ancient, powerful, kind. Images flooded her mind, stars being born and dying, civilizations rising and falling. The Carthan, once millions strong, now reduced to a few thousand hidden throughout the galaxy. And the void, a spreading darkness consuming everything in its path. I see it, she whispered. I see everything. The ship's voice spoke in her mind, not with words but with pure meaning. Asterisk, we are joined now. Together, we can save them all, asterisk. Kate's eyes snapped open. They glowed with the same shifting colors as the ship's surface. Kate, Myers asked, concerned. I'm still here, she said, but her voice had changed, carrying harmonic tones beneath her words. But I'm also more now. She stood up, though the connection to the chair remained through streams of light. The ship's name is Defiance, she said, and it knows where the void will strike next. Observer bowed his head. Then there is hope. Kate turned to Myers and Ward, her eyes still glowing. Tell Earth to prepare. The real war is about to begin. 3 weeks later, Earth had changed. News of the void threat spread quickly. Nations set aside old fights to prepare for a new enemy. Scientists worked with Carthan advisors to understand alien technology. Military forces trained for space combat. At the center of it all was Kate, now permanently linked to the Defiance. Her body remained human, but her mind was expanded. She could see and feel things across vast distances. Through the ship, she monitored void movements in far-off star systems. They're attacking the Pelinus system, Cave announced during an emergency meeting at the New Earth Defense Headquarters. Her eyes flickered with changing colors as she spoke. 3 planets, heavily populated. The Concord forces there won't hold out long. Commander Harris, recently returned from Harmonium, studied the holographic display showing the battle. Can we reach them in time? Yes, Kate said. The Defiance can create a fold space corridor large enough for our fleet. In the weeks since Kate's joining with the ship, Earth had converted 15 of its largest vessels for space combat. Chief Engineer Paul Wright had adapted Carthan shield technology and weapons to work with human systems. The fleet isn't fully tested, General Ward warned. We're still learning how to use these weapons. Kate stood. The Void expects patterns. It analyzes enemy tactics and adapts, but it has never faced humans before. We're unpredictable in ways it can't understand. President Bell nodded slowly. This is what the Carthan wanted all along. Our unpredictability. Yes, Kate admitted. Most Concord species think logically, methodically. The Void can calculate their moves in advance. Humans act on instinct, on gut feelings. We make creative leaps. We're also stubborn, Harris added with a grim smile. How soon can the fleet be ready? The president asked. 6 hours, Harris replied. Then launch as soon as possible. Save those planets if you can. The next day, Earth's first battle fleet entered fold space, led by the Defiance. Kate felt the ship's excitement mixing with her own fear. Together, they would face an enemy that had destroyed countless worlds. The fleet emerged near Polonus Prime, just as the Void ships began their final attack. Millions of black cubes swarmed around the planet's defense stations. All ships, this is Commander Harris. Follow your assigned targets. Remember your training. Kate felt the Defiance's weapon systems come alive. The ship knew exactly where to hit the Void vessels. Through their link, she guided its attacks with human intuition rather than pure logic. They're confused, she reported. Their predictive systems can't make sense of our attack pattern. The Earth ship struck from multiple angles, using maneuvers no Concord species had tried before. Fighter pilots rolled and spun in ways that seemed crazy but somehow worked. The Void forces, used to fighting methodical enemies, struggled to respond. For the first time in generations, the Void fleet began to retreat. Don't let them regroup, Kate warned. If they escape, they'll adapt to our tactics. Chief Engineer Wright's voice came over the comm. I'm picking up energy readings from the largest Void ship. It's building to critical levels. Kate felt the Defiance's concern. Through their link, she understood what was happening. They're going to self-destruct, she warned. The explosion will destroy everything in this system. Can we stop it? Harris asked. Kate closed her eyes, diving deeper into her connection with the Defiance. The ship showed her something. A way to create a containment field around the Void flagship. Yes, but I need to get closer. Despite protests from Harris and the others, Kate piloted the Defiance straight toward the massive Void vessel. As they approached, she felt the enemy's consciousness trying to break into her mind. Asterisk, join us. Become perfect. Escape death, asterisk. Kate pushed back. Humanity doesn't want your kind of perfection. The Defiance created a fold space bubble around the Void flagship just as it exploded. The blast disappeared into the pocket dimension, leaving only debris. When the light faded, the remaining Void ships had scattered. The planet below was safe. For now. Kate opened a channel to all Earth and Concord vessels. We've won this battle. But the Void knows about us now. And it will be ready next time. In the depths of space, the scattered Void ships sent data back to their central mind. A new variable had entered their calculations. Humans. Unpredictable. Dangerous. The Void would need to evolve. 2 months after the Battle of Polonus, Earth had become the center of a new kind of war effort. The lunar colony was now home to the first multi-species military academy in human history. Aliens from across the Concord came to learn human combat tactics and unpredictable thinking. In orbit around Mars, massive shipyards built vessels that combined human design with alien technology. Each week, more ships joined the growing fleet. Ambassador Myers stood in the Great Hall of the Concord Council on Harmonium. After months of negotiation, today was the formal ceremony to accept Earth as a full member. The human worlds have proven their value. Elder Voss announced to the assembled representatives. Their creative approach to warfare has given us the first real victories against the Void in generations. Not all aliens looked happy about this. Some species still feared humans and our violent history. Others resented how quickly Earth had risen to prominence in the Concord. We welcome Earth as equals, Voss continued. Together, we will face the darkness that threatens us all. Myers stepped forward to accept the formal charter of membership. As she did, an alarm sounded throughout the chamber. Emergency alert, a voice announced. Void forces detected in the Arcturus sector. Multiple worlds under attack. The screens around the council chamber showed dozens of void ships emerging from fold space. But these ships looked different. Their perfect cube shapes now replaced with irregular forms that shifted and changed as they moved. They've adapted, Myers whispered. Back on the Defiance, Kate felt the shift in the Void's tactics. Through her connection with the ship, she sensed the enemy's new approach. The Void had studied human unpredictability and was now mimicking it. They're learning, she told Commander Harris and the other fleet captains. Their ships are changing formation randomly. They're using our own tactics against us. Harris frowned at the battle displays. Then we need something they haven't seen yet. Chief Engineer Wright spoke up from his station. I might have something. I've been working on combining Carthan energy fields with human EMP technology. It could disrupt their communication network. Worth a try, Harris agreed. But we need to get close to their command ship. Kate nodded. The Defiance can get us there. But there's something else. Something the ship has been showing me. She brought up a new star map. The Void isn't just a swarm of ships. It has a central mind, a core consciousness that directs everything. The ship believes it's located here, in orbit around this neutron star. Harris studied the location. That's deep in Void territory. Heavily defended. Yes, but if we could reach it, we might end this war in one strike. Kate's eyes glowed brighter. The Defiance was built to deliver a weapon directly to the Void consciousness. What kind of weapon? Wright asked. A quantum field disruptor. It would sever the connection between the Void mind and all its ships. Without guidance, they would become harmless. Harris looked skeptical. Sounds too good to be true. It's risky, Kate admitted. The ship and I would need to get within the neural field of the Void mind. We'd be exposed to its influence. You could be turned against us, Harris said. It's possible, but the Defiance thinks we can resist long enough to deploy the weapon. Observer, who had been silent until now, stepped forward. This is what we created the ship for. What we waited centuries to find. A human pilot with the will to face the Void mind directly. Before Harris could respond, new alerts sounded. Reports came in from the Arcturus sector. The Void's new tactics were overwhelming Concord defenses. 3 planets were already lost. We need to help those worlds now, Harris said. But after that, we need a permanent solution. Kate nodded. I'll prepare the Defiance for both missions. As the fleet prepared to jump to Arcturus, Ambassador Myers contacted them from Harmonium. Earth is now a full member of the Concord, she reported. All their resources are available to us, and I've been appointed to the War Council. Harris smiled grimly. Good timing. We're going to need everything we can get for what comes next. Kate felt the Defiance's systems powering up. Through their link, she sensed both determination and fear. The final battle was approaching. One way or another, the galaxy would never be the same again. The combined fleet of Earth and Concord ships dropped out of fold space at the edge of the Arcturus system. Hundreds of vessels, from tiny fighters to massive carriers, prepared for what might be the final battle of the war. In the 6 weeks since the Void had changed its tactics, the fighting had grown more desperate. 7 more worlds had fallen. But humans had shared their knowledge across the Concord, teaching other species to think outside their usual patterns. Kate stood on the bridge of the Defiance, looking at the battle displays. The Void had gathered its largest force ever, thousands of ships surrounding a massive central vessel the size of a small moon. "That's their command ship," she said. "I can feel the void consciousness radiating from it." Commander Harris nodded grimly. "Then that's our target." The plan was simple but dangerous. The main fleet would engage the void forces, creating a distraction. Meanwhile, Kate and the Defiance would slip through the chaos and deliver their weapon directly to the void command ship. "All ships, this is Commander Harris. Remember your training. Be unpredictable. Change tactics frequently. Don't fall into patterns." Kate felt a mix of fear and determination flowing between her and the Defiance. They had been preparing for this moment since their first connection. "It's time," she said quietly. The battle began with a fury unlike anything the galaxy had seen in millennia. Human pilots flew alongside alien allies, their combined styles creating attack patterns the void couldn't predict. Chief Engineer Wright's new EMP weapons proved effective, temporarily disabling clusters of void ships. The Concorde vessels pressed the advantage, destroying hundreds of enemy craft. But the void adapted quickly. Its ships began to split and reform in new shapes, making them harder to target. Energy beams cut through shields. Explosions lit up space as ships on both sides were destroyed. Through the chaos, the Defiance moved silently. Kate had activated its stealth systems, bending light and energy around the ship to make it nearly invisible. "We're approaching the command ship," she reported to Harris. "Beginning final run." As they drew closer, Kate felt the void mind reaching out. It sensed her through her connection with the Defiance. "Human, why do you resist us? We offer perfection, immortality, release from pain and fear. The voice was in her head, smooth and reasonable. Kate felt her resolve waver. Would it be so bad to join with the void? To become something greater? The Defiance pulsed in her mind, reminding her of what was at stake. Kate pushed back against the void's influence. "Humanity doesn't want your kind of perfection," she said. "We choose our flaws. Our mortality gives our lives meaning. You will die. All organics die. Join us and live forever. "Not interested," Kate replied. "We prefer quality over quantity." The Defiance broke through the outer defenses of the command ship. Kate guided it toward the central core where the void consciousness resided. Black tendrils of energy reached for them, trying to stop their approach. "Weapon ready," Kate reported. "Preparing for deployment." Way. The void mind's tone changed to one of fear. Can kill MPROMIC. We can HHARE the GALXY. Kate felt the desperation in its thoughts. The void had never faced defeat before. It didn't know how to handle it. "Too late for that," she said. "You've destroyed too many worlds." With a thought, Kate activated the quantum disruptor. The Defiance shuddered as waves of energy poured from its core into the void command ship. The connection between Kate and the ship grew stronger than ever as they channeled the weapon's power together. The great void vessel began to crack, lines of light spreading across its surface. Throughout the battle, enemy ships suddenly stopped, drifting aimlessly as their connection to the central mind was severed. "It's working," Kate whispered. The void made one final attempt, sending a surge of its consciousness directly into Kate's mind. For a moment, she saw its entire history, a species that had tried to escape death through technology, only to lose their humanity in the process. You will become like us eventually. All species do. No, Kate replied. We learn from the past. We grow. That's what makes us human. The command ship exploded in a silent flash of light. The Defiance barely escaped, its systems strained to the breaking point. Across the galaxy, void ships went dark. Without their guiding mind, they became harmless pieces of technology. In the aftermath, Kate stood with Ambassador Myers, Commander Harris, and Observer in the Concorde Council chamber. Representatives from all 29 member species, Earth now included, celebrated their victory. Today marks a new beginning, Elder Voss announced. Thanks to human courage and all our combined strengths, the galaxy is safe once more.